Okay, hello. Finally on air with Bearing. He offered to do a hangout with me after like a bit of backstory. I made a video called Bearing, Unfunny Harasser of YouTube Feminists. So it was not...
I take objection with that. I'm fucking hilarious.
Oh, I guess that's true. Well, it depends on your sense of humor, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
But anyway, so I'll just give some backstory and then we can have a talk. So that was my video, and then I got a lot of feedback for that, which like makes sense because I mean I was going after Bearing, and you know, in that sense it was a very forward video. I wasn't like fucking around or whatever. I mean, I called you unfunny in the title, so there you go. And then I made a follow-up called Apology to Bearing, where I just pretended to apologize and just acted like a dick, basically. So yeah, that's the situation. So
I must say you did it very well. You did that very well. There was a bit of confusion at my end. I was sort of like, what the fuck? And then sort of, oh, he's been, I'm pretty sure, yeah, he's definitely been sarcastic.
Yeah. Well, someone told me that I seemed scary and psychotic and insane, but I was literally just acting. So I was like, I guess you find actors scary and insane. Like, you probably don't like the Joker in Batman or whatever, but yeah.
Well, I suppose the Joker in Batman is being paid a lot of money to be the Joker in Batman. You're kind of doing it because you want to. I suppose that's where the scary and insane part comes into it.
In a car.
Yeah.
When you do things in a car, it looks scary, but yeah. But anyway, so
tell me, just speaking of, do you know Danny Duchamp? He's a countryman of yours.
No, who's that?
He's a YouTuber. He's a YouTuber from New Zealand, but he funnily enough, he films all of his videos in his car, and he does it while he's absolutely fucking paralytic most of the time. Like it's just parked in his driveway in his flat, but he's usually absolutely shit faced in his car making his videos. It's quite funny. You'd hate him. I recommend you watch him.
Oh, so he's anti-feminist or whatever.
Yeah. You'd probably call him anti-feminist, yeah.
Yeah. Are you an anti-feminist, or are you?
I don't think. Look, I think if you went through my videos, you would probably find instances where I have said yes, I'm an anti-feminist, but I don't think. And I've also said this probably in more recent videos. I don't think. I'm not an anti-feminist, as in, you know, I'm part of some clique or some club that is called this thing, you know, the fucking, you know, the sharps, you know, the gang that hang out behind the station. Not in that sense.
Yeah.
I am anti-feminist insofar as you know, I oppose a lot of the things that that the feminist movement seems to push, you know. And not the feminist movement of 100 years ago, the feminist movement that is in front of me, you know, interacting with me, absolutely.
Yeah. And you reckon that's like third wave feminists or something?
Yeah, well, I think it's what it's commonly referred to, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, what was your opinion of my video?
The original video, look,
yeah,
I watched it, and I must say as well, I did intend to sort of go over it before I jumped on the stream, but I just ran out of time. So if I sort of, you know, don't remember something, you know, excuse me. But look, I thought I watched it and I thought, look, I can kind of understand how you might come to some of your opinions. I thought a lot of it. I thought a good portion of it was pretty unfair in that you were talking about things and horrible comments and all that sort of stuff that I didn't do. You know, that I did. It wasn't me. Now there's an argument we'll probably get into, and that's fine, about, you know, how much responsibility someone takes for someone else's actions. But I mean, when 2/3 of your video is reading verbatim horrible things that someone else has said, you kind of, I don't know, it's sort of, my attention gets a bit lost because it's like, well, I never fucking said that.
Yeah, but I'm not saying.
Hang on, sorry, just one sec. The main issue that I have with your video, I I don't have many problems with your video at all. I think it's fantastic. I love getting response videos. I love arguing. I love debating with people and disagreeing and exploring each other's points of view to learn things. But I think the one thing that I had a real objection to was this. I think your words were bearing has no place in the YouTube community. Now, I've just sat here and said, I think you making a video tearing shreds off me is fantastic. I invite it. I invite things like this. We'll get into arguments, and I think that's great. I genuinely hope you turn me into a feminist. I really do. And there's every possibility you will if you have a good enough argument. I'm not against changing my stance on things, but to say this person should not have a right to express themselves I can't agree with that.
Well, I never said you don't have a right to express yourself. I said my opinion is that people shouldn't support you because I believe that,
fair enough. That's fair.
And I can see that your channel is basically causing the same thing to happen over and over and over again. And yesterday, I went through your channel a little bit more because I was like, I didn't really present too many feminist videos or channels that shut down or they made the video private. So I went through yesterday, and I mean, I don't have all the specific names, but there's just video after video that was like, this video is private, this video is private, this video is private, this video is private. And I was like, if it's happening over and over and over, can't you see there's a pattern? And that would not be happening if it wasn't for your channel. Like, I think that's
of course I can see. Of course I can see there's a pattern there. I'm not blind. But what's happening is I'm expressing an opinion. Okay, I am only expressing an opinion, and usually not in the most horrible, vile of ways. I don't do a video and start off by saying, "Listen, you're a fucking cunt, you fucking bitch." I don't do that. I just don't do it. You cannot say I do that. Now, if me expressing an opinion gets a lot of support for some reason, and people provide feedback or abuse or harassment, whatever you want to call it, stuff that's outside of my control. It's unfortunate, but it's not going to stop me from expressing my opinion. I'm not going to change my opinion because of that.
But I will say, like, when you see that basically every single video, and I've received all kinds of different sort of talking points. Some are kind of valid, some are kind of stupid. One of them's like, oh, this is only 4,000 to 6,000 people of your fan base. And you've got like 200,000 subscribers or something. So it's not that big a deal.
That's a fair statement, isn't it? So what's that in terms of percentage? It's fuck all.
I know it's fuck all, but I was thinking about that. And all right, look, I'm not comparing you to Donald Trump. I don't want anyone to fucking confuse me with what I'm saying.
I'd be delighted.
Okay, but like Donald Trump, for example, he is he's the GOP Republican candidate, and a lot of people who are supporting him are just traditional Republicans, and they're probably not racist at all. They're probably perfectly fine. They're probably good people, but he activated a certain number of racists when he said all the racist shit he said about Mexicans, for example. So it looks like a lot of the people who follow Donald Trump are racist because they've been activated by Donald Trump, but there's probably a lot of traditional Republicans who are not racist at all who are following Donald Trump. And I'm saying my theory would be that you have activated a bunch of harassers or people who want to go to other people's channels.
So should Donald Trump be stripped of the right to express his opinion?
I never said that. I said it was my opinion that people should stop supporting you, and that's literally like a free market thing. That's my opinion.
I thought your words were this guy has no place on YouTube.
They were, but that can be read more than one way. That doesn't literally just mean YouTube should delete you.
Well, isn't that saying it is my opinion that this person should not be able to express their opinion?
It's my opinion that people should not support you.
But I thought you said this guy has no place in the YouTube community. Yeah, that's not referring to support. That's saying it is my opinion that this guy should not be able to express his opinion. Is it not?
No, it isn't. I never said that you should not be allowed to express your opinion. I said that it wasn't exactly clear, which is why we're quibbling about this shit. But I was basically saying the way that your channel operates in terms of like sending all of these abusers. And you say that, you know,
hang on. I'm sorry to butt in, but
yeah,
I don't send anyone anywhere. If anything, if you go through all of my videos, I tell you what did give me a chuckle. What gave me a real laugh was in your video where you showed an instance where I'd gotten into a squabble with a male feminist, right?
yep,
A follow-up video, he'd listened to my video. Yeah, he copped a lot of flack, and some of the people that follow me ended up in a live stream with him, and they talked for hours, and he genuinely did end up seeing sense in what I said. It wasn't intimidation or bullying that forced his hand to make this video. He was genuine, and so I made a video in return saying, look, I think that, you know, you've had the maturity to reconsider your position, and I think, you know, that's great of you. Everyone, you know, if I can get everyone to go and upvote his video, that'd be fantastic. A snippet of film of me saying, go and upvote this guy's video to be proof that I send people to downvote people's videos. That's insane.
How's that insane?
Crazy. Show me an instance where I've said go and downvote this person's video, and that's proof of me saying I send people to downvote videos.
No, but what that is essentially proof of is that you have the ability to influence your subscribers.
Well, then why don't they listen to me when in the description of every video and at the start of every video or most videos, I say don't do it. Why if I've got such influence, why don't they fucking listen to me then?
Because who really gives a shit about some disclaimer which is in the comments box? Like, do you think they really care about that? Do you think any of your fans are reading that being like, I've really got to take this to heart? You know, every time they look at one of your videos, they carefully read through the disclaimer. Like, I don't think that's happening. I think what they're thinking is, yeah, another stupid fucking feminist got owned by Bering. Let's go fuck her up. Basically,
they may
not all of them.
Well.
Not all of them.
They may very well, but have they not got the right to do that?
They do, but I also have the right to say I think that's kind of shitty, because I think that is kind of bullying people into submission.
That's fair enough too. That's fair enough. But I mean,
but do you have a problem with it? Do you find it to be wrong? You know, that's the thing I'm really wondering about you. Like, do you have a problem with it? You know, that's what I'm wondering. I'm not trying to be all like SJW about this, but
yeah, no. Look, I get what you're saying. I must say, I do appreciate your ability to speak frankly. I can't stand getting on streams and having to watch my P's and Q's. I admire that about you.
Thank you.
I think that I do have a problem with internet bullying. I do have a problem with it, right? To explain my position, there's a YouTuber, a very, very new YouTuber called Skeptic Llama, right? He's a Norwegian guy. He's very hard to understand, but he makes some brilliant points. He made a statement the other day that was so brilliantly simple and to me made so much sense that I've sort of adopted it as my own. He said internet bullying, right, is going after someone for the simple sake of ruining their day. That is your only objective, ruining their day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you go after someone, or if you express an opinion, or you go up against someone, or whatever you want to call it, you may very well ruin their day, and I'm fucking sure I do ruin people's days. But that was not my objective. There was an issue that I disagreed with, and I was arguing something completely aside from how their fucking day is going to go. I don't give a fuck if I ruin your day. But if I go after you for the sheer sake of ruining your day, then I'm an internet bully.
Yeah. Well, I do.
Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, but I've got one example from my video, which was this. It's a really random channel name, but it's called like Second Banana Society or something. And do you can remember that one? She's talking about feminism. Like she was like, actually, you did have a funny joke in that when she said, "This is our week."
Oh, so I am funny, for fuck's sake, cunt. Like,
well, that joke was funny. He said, "This is our week." She was like, "This is our week theme, feminism." You were like, "That is a week theme."
That's hilarious. And so I know where you're going. You're going to say, well, what was the fucking point? The point that was to be funny. The point of that was that made a lot of people laugh, and my channel is not some activist. I'm not a fucking crusader for truth and justice. I'm a bit of a funny cunt who makes people laugh. I like doing it.
I have to finish my point there, which is
okay. I'm sorry.
I watched the original video, and it was literally just her saying, "I'm planning on talking about feminism. Like, there's gonna be on my channel. It's gonna be like a fucking, update on feminism." And that was it. And then when you covered it,
hang on. Wasn't it? So give me your thoughts on feminism. Wasn't that the message?
What a bitch.
So I gave her my thoughts on feminism. All I did was give her my thought. I didn't swear at her. I didn't abuse her. I didn't instruct anyone to go and harass her on her channel. She literally asked for people's thoughts on feminism, and I gave my thoughts on feminism and chucked a joke in.
I know that.
Is that fair to say?
I'm saying that what you did was extremely innocent and pure, like the Burton Snow, whatever. But it still led to like 4,000 whatever downvotes and a fuckload of hate.
I'm not saying what I did was innocent. I might have been a bit of a smarmy cunt in it, but I've got every right to be a smarmy cunt. But I certainly did not grab that video and come up with some malicious plan for her to get abused and attacked. I know, but
all I'm asking you is, do you realize that leads to basically her video getting flooded with people? That's what it leads to.
It may very well. So does that mean that I should not have the right to be a bit of a smarmy cunt and chuck a joke in and explain my thoughts on feminism?
No, it just means you should be aware of the outcome of what happens. Like
I'm aware. Unfortunately, I'm still going to do it because I've got every right to be a smarmy, funny cunt and provide my thoughts on feminism. If people are, even if people don't ask, I've still got every right to do it.
Well, I'm just saying, can't you explicitly, besides the disclaimer thing, which we've talked about, can't you explicitly tell your subscribers, leave this person alone? I'm making a joke. It's, I don't like, because I feel like if people did that in my name, I would legitimately feel bad. I'd feel like a bad person. I'd feel like every time I make a fucking video, the person gets completely harassed by people who follow me. I think that maybe that's just the SJW.
I see what you're saying. I don't think that's a regressive thing to say. No, I don't. I understand what you're saying. I think it's a reasonable
thing to say.
No, I hate the word cuck. Do you have a missus and do you watch her get fucked by another guy?
I have a missus, but I do not watch her get fucked by another guy.
Then you're not a cuck. Then it's a stupid fucking insult. That. So where was I? I get what you're saying, but I don't favor actually, dedicating a lot of time in my videos to saying, do not go to this person's channel and interact with it, because I think that people have every right to go to people's channels and interact with them. I don't agree with cyberbullying, but I think that if I did that, it would probably stifle a lot of people from going and providing a lot of valid criticism, and they've got every right to do that. I think that is more. It's more important to uphold the right to free speech than it is to suppress bullying.
I just don't know how you.
And I think that's where we. I think that's where we fundamentally disagree.
Where?
I put more value in someone's right to freedom of expression, and you put more value into people not being harassed or bullied.
I don't think that's true, because I'm talking specifically about your channel. There's a few other channels that are a bit like that, like Sagan of the Cards is a bit like that. I've heard that Undoomed is a bit like that. Like they've got very tribal fans. No offense to all your fans, you have many, so I'm sure I just made a lot of enemies. But
Look, that may very well be the case, but understand that I have fuck all interaction with my subscribers. I have absolutely fuck all. I'm one person. I can only interact with so many people a day.
Yeah.
I don't have these off-air hangouts where I go, all right, troops, now we're going to go after this person. Now I want you to go in and this is the plan. It does not happen. It doesn't happen. If this is somehow formed in and of itself, that may be the case, but it was not of my doing. I'm a cunt with an opinion. who says shit into a microphone and publishes it, just like you.
The only thing I'm saying about that is I would not be okay with it, personally. I would think like, wow, my subscribers continually leave some fucking atrocious comments on other people's channels.
Okay. Well, then hang on. Answer me this then, right? All we're talking about, your issue here is scale. Because didn't you take your video that you made and published about me and give it to Christy Winters and say, please mirror this?
No. She said, I will mirror this.
And I was like, okay. You let it happen though, didn't you?
Why? Did they harass somebody? Like, who did they harass?
Well, hang on. Christy Winters on several occasions. Christy Winters, let me tell you, I think he's one of the most fucking arrogant people I've ever come across. She really is. Now, there are so many instances of Christy making comments directed at me saying, oh, he's fucking uneducated, he's fucking dumb, try reading a book. It is just pure fucking ad hominem. It is pathetic. Take one of my arguments and prove me fucking wrong, you stupid bitch. You know, don't sit there and say, oh, he's fucking dumb just so. Show me one instance where I've said I find Christy Winters horribly unattractive and fat, other than just before, because I was doing it to prove this point. I was doing it because I wanted you to fucking raise it, and I wanted to fucking, you know, to argue the point. But I don't do that. You know, I argue people's arguments and their ideas. So in effect, you've let Christy Winters, right, mirror this video, who is a person who makes these stupid fucking immature ad hominem attacks against me. Aren't you doing the same thing, just on a much smaller scale? Now, if that is the case, what you're basically saying is I have a problem with you because you are a bigger YouTuber than me.
What? No.
Think about it. How is that not the case?
Well, I know lots of big YouTubers, and I haven't made a video like the one I made about you, about them. And I mentioned in my video that Sargon and AIU have similar levels of fucked up fans, but I didn't talk about any other large YouTubers that I know. I wasn't like Secular Talks fans, just, you know, always downvoting, and David Packman's fans are so evil.
Settle down. My question was,
I'm chill.
If you've made this video about me and you have let Christy Winters, right, who is someone who makes these stupid fucking mindless attacks against me, mirror your video, aren't you doing the same thing that you are accusing me of, just on a smaller scale?
I would ask you what the result of Christy mirroring the video was for you.
It doesn't matter what the fucking result.
Yes, it does.
Look,
of course it does. Look, okay, I got a question for you. What is the definition of bullying? What is bullying?
I just fucking gave it before. I gave you my definition before. Bullying is ruining someone's day for the sake of ruining someone's day. I was clear about that.
Okay. Well, I think bullying is a imbalance of power, and I think it's something that's ongoing.
Well, you're wrong. You're dead wrong. I was watching a video of yours last night where you said you started YouTubing in December last year.
Yep.
I started in September, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So I am an individual person who you know, lives my life. So I get up and have breakfast every day, and I fucking do the things that I need to do to live my life. I don't have any more power than you. I don't have any fucking institutional power or fucking, you know, I'm not a dictator. We're equal people. We both started a YouTube account, and more people liked what I said than liked what you said. That's not fucking power. That's just me being a better YouTuber than you.
I don't know if it's being a better YouTuber. It's just people might like your message more.
Oh, we're gonna have a debate about better, aren't we?
Well, look, I don't really count subs. I know a lot of people who are obsessed with that shit. I just make YouTube videos because it's fun. I just enjoy it.
And I think that is fucking fantastic. I really do. I think the fact that you went after me is absolutely commendable. I really do.
So many people called me an attention whore. It wasn't. It was literally just like, I'm looking at various channels.
There's an element of that in it. There really is. But that's okay. Oh, I'm an attention whore.
You can't
What's wrong
read
with that?
my fucking mind, man. You're not a psychologist.
It's my opinion, Tim. My opinion.
Yes, I appreciate that. That's good. No worries.
So Well, fuck, what was I going to say? Your fucking SJW shit's throwing me off track. Fuck.
Sorry, bro.
Fuck, I've totally lost myself, man.
Well, you said that wasn't the definition of bullying, but I looked it up and the dictionary could be lying. Stupid fucking feminist dictionary.
Look, if I do something, right, and you do that exact same thing, how is it that I'm a criminal and you're not?
I never said you're a criminal.
No. It's metaphoric, right? How is it that I'm a cunt and you're not if we have done the exact same thing?
Because you actually
because I have more power. I have more power.
No, because you know what's happening in your name. And I didn't fucking know that, like, this shit with Christy would lead to some bullying or something. If that's the case, I'll fucking call out Christy tomorrow. That piece of shit should have made me mirror. She should have mirrored my fucking videos. She's
well, there you go. She shouldn't have. She's a fucking moron, right? So
let's go from acts of violence. No, let's not do that.
If I say to you at the end of this stream, Tim, thank you for talking to me. It wasn't directly in what you said, but as a result of this stream, I have somehow come to the conclusion that I should now go and rape a heap of chicks. Is that happening in your name? Are you responsible for that?
Wait, rape who?
Just the next person I see.
I would say to you, don't do that, please. Do not fucking do that, you psycho motherfucker. And then I just try to contact somebody, be like, Bearing is about to rape something. Like,
so you would say, don't do that. Do not do that. Which is exactly what I do. Now, I do it. I do it by way of disclaimer. I don't sit there and say, don't go to this person's channel for reasons that I have explained. I think that people do have the right to go to people's channel and express their opinions. Now, I think it's unfortunate that there is harassment or abuse or whatever you want to call it amongst that. But I think it is more important to uphold the free flow of ideas and thought than it is to protect feelings.
Yeah. Well, I guess that my other question would be, what do you think valid criticism is? Like, what? Because you're like, these people are giving valid criticism, but I can't tell you how many comments I got that was like, this guy's doing this to. Some of the comments are bizarre. I just don't like. I made the apology because I don't understand some of the comments. Like, this guy's trying to get laid. This guy is a sub whore. I guess I get the sub whore thing. Like, this is actually
and you
he's a virgin.
There's no shame in admitting that was part of it. I'm a sub whore. I'm an attention whore. Fuck it.
If it was pretty subconscious because
you don't make YouTube videos to not have them watched.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But I mean, I appreciate just my small fan base of like. I have consistent commenters who I think are really cool. You know?
But if your fan base was 100,000, you'd appreciate it. You'd appreciate that too, wouldn't you?
Yeah. If they're cool, but not if they're like a mob of fucktards. Ah, God, I just said fucktards. That'll get me in trouble.
Sorry. Oh my God, fucking hell! Look, I suppose to give you a little bit of context of where I'm coming from. I watched one of your videos last night, right? That. I've got to say, I watched it from start to finish and actually thought, I completely agree with this cunt. I completely agree with him. It was your video about like YouTubers and groupthink.
Oh, right, yeah.
The one where I think something had happened with a live stream or something. I can't remember what the specific issue was. But your basic message was, I'm not going to fall in line with some clique and some form of groupthink just because that's what I should do. Fuck you. I will express my opinion whether I'm fucking liked or not.
Yeah.
Is that the essence of what you said?
Essentially, that may have been after Jenny McDermott's fake rape accusation against Ahmed Skeptic.
Yeah, that was shock. That was pathetic.
I said to her, like, that's extremely wrong. What are you doing? And then she just said, fuck off, and blocked me and stuff. So
yeah, she's a fucking horrible person, Jenny. But I mean, I'm exactly the same. We agree on that, brother. We are exactly the same on that. It's just that what I believe, my opinions and what I believe, that I should say, happens to have been liked and followed by a lot of people.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make it groupthink on my part. I may be the catalyst for what this groupthink is. I may set some precedent as to what, you know, this group thinks, but I'm certainly not involved in fucking groupthink. Fuck that.
Yeah, but
You know?
what if your subscribers partake in groupthink and a mob mentality and act like a herd? Are you ever going to call them out for that, or you just don't give a fuck?
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's evidence of that with my video, you know, having a crack at the atheist gamer.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I found
The
that
atheist
video
gamer, the atheist gamer is one of my subscribers, and he is probably this typical, you know, person you're talking about who does jump into this group thinking, go and you know, leave, you know, fuck you, you got fucking owned by Bearings for comments. I absolutely fucking ass raped that prick, because I thought what he did was fucking wrong, where he got that 14-year-old girl and basically said, "You're fat and disgusting." That's fucking horrible.
Right.
That is internet bullying.
But that
is fucking up someone's day for the sheer pleasure of the sheer sick pleasure of fucking up somene's day, and that is wrong.
Do you stand up for fat shaming though? Generally, just like in life.
Where?
Like,
when have I done this?
No, I'm asking you. Like, have you made videos being like fat shaming is fine, or like you don't have an issue with that?
No, not specifically.
Because I don't fully know. Like, so I'm just asking you.
There may be videos where someone of your leaning might come to that conclusion, but I think you would be jumping the gun a bit if you really listen to what I was saying. No, I don't support fat shaming, but neither do I support. You know, I especially don't support this you know, fat acceptance shit. Fuck that. That's ridiculous. You know, if you're fat, then that's a problem that you have. Now, just because somebody acknowledges the fact that you're fat, it doesn't make it. It doesn't make it, you know, you know, some issue that they've got. It's an issue that you have. Now, if some person, you know, repetitively, you know, says you should feel bad that you're fat, go and fucking die and feel that's wrong. That is absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
But simply saying you are fat and acknowledging it, no, fuck that. There's nothing wrong with that.
I can't, because like I can't remember if you made a video about some fat chick and went like, gross or some shit. I know.
I probably did. Do you remember which one? It'd help if you tell me which one it was. So I could.
No, I can't remember.
Specifically explain it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if that was about fat acceptance or whatever or something else. But
there was one. There's a series of, I think it was 2 or 3 videos that I made that actually did start off with a video about you know, the fat acceptance movement itself, where it was, I think, you know, one of the main points in it was you know, these fat people complaining that their doctor telling them that they're too fat is somehow abuse. You know, he's somehow you know, shouldn't happen. That's ridiculous. That's fucking wrong. That's the doctor's job. Yeah. And so I've addressed this, and a fellow, he's actually a fucking hilarious YouTuber. He goes by the name Ranthony, which is meant to be, you know, rants mixed with his name Anthony or something. He made a response video to that initial video I did covering fat shaming, and he was very, very hurt, and he was very you know, he took issue with oh fuck, what was it? Was I think it was again something that some people had some of my subscribers had said or something. He basically made this video saying, you know, fuck you, Bearing, because this isn't right and this isn't right, and it was shit that I haven't said. And so I actually made a video addressing him, and I said, mate, you know, number one, like, he's a big guy. I said, number one, you're not that fat, mate. You're really not that. I think you have a view of yourself that you're actually a lot fatter than you are. And I went sort of went through his what I thought was his thinking process. Like, one of the things he brought up in his video was like, do you know how it feels to sit there? You know, like, if I go to a cafe, you know, I'll try to do the right thing. I'll order a salad and I'll sit there and eat a salad. But then I'm sitting there constantly thinking, like, people are looking at me just going, oh, yeah, good one, nice try, fat, so you're eating a salad. And I said to him, no, they're not. Then they don't give a fuck about what you're fucking eating. They don't give a fuck. You have to understand that everyone has their own salad complex. Everyone thinks that there is something wrong about themselves. And it's more likely that the people walking past your table are thinking, oh my God, do people notice that I have a bung leg or a fucking lazy eye or I'm fat myself? It's more likely that they're thinking about that than, look at this fat cunt eating a salad, you know? And it's true, isn't it?
Wait, so you're saying that you had empathy for this guy's sense of being a fat person generally?
Yeah, you could say that. And I pointed out to him that the world isn't as keen to shame him and to ridicule him as he thinks, and that he should say. And he got what I saw. And he made a response video and said, "Thank you, sir." You should have seen this next video he did. His face went from a fucking someone who was defeated and looked like they hadn't been out of their house for fucking 3 months to someone who's beaming smile. You know,
yeah.
I cannot believe that someone like you has given me this this encouragement and this this confidence. And all your subscribers are fucking lovely. They all came over and they commented. They said, mate, you're not that big.
But
don't shame. Go to the gym, do what you're doing, and just be confident, be happy, and live your life. And he's one of the most outgoing, confident, happy people, the most enjoyable people to associate with now. And he's gone to that from this miserable cunt who was just, oh, fuck you, Barry, don't fat shame.
I don't get this though, because like when I look at your content, I don't see any of what you're saying right now reflected in your content at all. I would never know that you have this point of view.
Watch these videos then. I think that is a result of you having the positions that you have and going through my content thinking, what can I call him out on? And so you probably click on the fucking the clearly going against feminist videos.
Aren't they most of your content? Isn't that most of your stuff?
No.
Is like
hang on. Let's have a look at my last few videos. We'll discuss my last.
Maybe the thing is, it's just you're very prolific. So there's heaps of like you make a lot of videos, so there's heaps of videos fucking up feminists, but there's also a bunch talking about some.
There's heaps of feminists that are fucking wrong. I can't help it. I didn't make them wrong.
Why do you choose feminists to go against? Why don't you make videos about fucking like you've got the atheist gamer example? What about like conservatives or fucking I don't know.
Because there's a fucking lot of fucking feminists who are wrong. You
have to hunt out these small channels you've got to find these small channels. In order to find feminists that are wrong.
Most of them get sent to me.
By who?
To be clear,
like some research.
Okay. So let's discuss my last 5 videos. Okay. So my very last video was, hey,
the menstrual blood guy.
Well, hang on. No, my last video was a fucking hilarious video about some t-shirts and hoodies that are selling on Teesprings. Go and purchase one. They're quality products.
Jesus.
No, seriously, you like it. You'll thank me. I can just see you wearing a very fucking t-shirt.
What the fuck is this shit?
Right. So that was my last video. That didn't attack anyone. Right. The video before that was a second response to someone who thinks it is completely normal to keep your ex-girlfriend's bloody tampon for 1.5 years after you have broken up. Ew, fucking gross. You can't say that's. I mean, would you agree with that?
I watched that video, and at the start of it, he was talking about how he wants to have sex with his girlfriend when she's menstruating and stuff. And I thought
that's fine. You do that. You do you, buddy. I've got no problem.
I thought that's not a big deal. I was like, well, I've done that before. That's whatever. And then he started talking about.
Ew, gross. I wouldn't do it, but fucking you do you.
You said ooh at the start. You were like, ew. I would have said ooh at the very start of the video when he said having sex with your girlfriend while she's menstruating. You were like, yeah.
Well, my opinion is ew. I know, right to express my opinion.
But my opinion is just people can do that, whatever. I don't care. But then he started talking about tasting.
Of course they can. I didn't say he couldn't do it. All I said was ooh.
I think
he's allowed to think it's not. He's allowed to think it's not ooh. Why can't I think it's ooh?
Because you're an authoritarian and you're trying to.
Because I've got fucking subscribers.
It's the same argument you made to me. You said that I was trying to shut down your YouTube channel rather than just saying you should care about the bullying that takes place in your name.
Hang on, say that again.
You were telling me I'm an authoritarian trying to shut down your YouTube channel rather than someone who just thinks you should care more about people bullying in your name and going to channels because they were watching a bullying video.
After having spoken to you, I kind of do understand your point now. That is your opinion that I should have no right to freedom of expression. I do understand that. All right, I can accept that. Fuck you and your opinion, right? But moving on.
Right, and I'm saying you have no right to judge this man. You have no right to freedom of expression.
Why don't I have a right to do that?
I don't know, because it's just.
I do have a right to do that. I categorically do have the right to do that.
No, not based on what you said my opinion is, you don't. Based on... You said my opinion is that you are not entitled to freedom of expression, so I'm just owning it, you know?
Well, fuck you. You can't seriously say that I don't have a right to... I mean, really?
I can, based on your position, that's what I think. So fuck you.
Oh, you fucking lost me. You think too much, mate. You're thinking in way too many layers, mate. It's you got to work on that.
Look, right, I'm just saying that's not what I fucking think. That's all.
Okay, that's fucking fantastic. That's a good thing. All right, I'm happy.
Go.
Right, so shut up. Next video was a stream that I did with that me and Sugar Tits January holiday, right? That was just shooting the shit, just friends talking, right? No feminists owned there. The video before that was called Let's Rethink Thought Control, and it was basically poo-pooing a fucking app that crosses out kids' words when they say the wrong thing. No feminists attacked there. The video before that was sarcastically called 200,000 misogynist trolls Q&A, which was simply saying I got to 200,000, fucking fantastic. Before that was comparing feminists absolutely going off the fucking rails in fucking childlike tantrums to children having tantrums themselves.
Yeah,
it's a fair comparison. You know, that's an absolutely fair comparison. The video before that was talking about my computer that died. The video before that was the original one saying, mate, that's a bit weird that you kept your girlfriend's tampon. Video before that was Black Lives Matter is a stupid movement, because it is. No feminist attack there. The video before that was a live stream with Wrecked Feminist Videos and Andy Worski. One before that was the worst.
So what you're saying is...
So where are all these videos where I target these poor little individuals? Where are they? You're saying that it's every one of my videos, and you're wrong.
Well, I could read you out some of them.
All right, we'll go. Let's go through.
SJW chick teaches how to calculate privilege. That's one where you went after one of them. Feminist commie doesn't know how to feminism.
Oh, hang on.
Another confused feminist is wrong about feminism.
Well, she fucking was. And
the most awkward person in the world. Crazy feminist thinks men get their periods too.
Slow down. If we're going to have this conversation...
feminist. Hey, I'm just saying there's a lot of them. So it takes a lot to read.
Well, yeah, but let's have a brief discussion on each one and you know, establish whether that was a fair thing to say or not. All right. So your first one was something about calculating privilege.
I'm just picking at random, but yeah, one of them, SJW chick teaches how to calculate privilege.
So that video actually featured an SJW chick who actually attempted to teach us how to calculate privilege.
Yeah.
Are you saying that didn't happen?
No.
Well, then what the fuck is how is that some kind of a truth is an attack now?
No, because I'm talking about what actually happened after that, which was they all went to a video and left her a shitload of abuse. It's just what I was talking about originally.
So Bearing cannot state objective fact because someone might say something mean. That's fucking insane. That is insane. It
depends on the video. There's one example that I want to talk about, which is men talking to women should be sexual harassment.
Oh yeah, I had a nice exchange with Michael Rowlands on this last night. He replied to my post about this thing on Twitter last night. Go, you know, fucking that's not what you said at all. I said, Michael, this tweet's over a month old. You're going through my old tweets just to see what you could call me out on, weren't you? It's incredible. All right, okay.
So like, every video you make doesn't have to be controversial or doesn't have to be going after feminists. For people to
No, it
think
doesn't.
that you make a lot of videos going against feminists.
It clearly doesn't.
You
We just established that.
Right.
Right.
I know, but you were just reading out all of your videos from like every single video, like this one's not about it, this one's not about it. Like I made a video attacking.
Hang on, that's because you're saying bearing all of your videos attack fucking. No, they don't. They quite demonstrably don't.
I can take that back and just say a very interesting amount of them do. Okay, so
well, I'm glad you find me interesting and hilarious.
Interesting, hilarious-ish. So I watched this Kayleigh video. She was talking about this dude following her, and it was real disturbing to her, and she didn't like it, and blah blah blah. And you just said she doesn't like men talking to her. And I think so the way that let me finish. The way that the person is talking to her kind of matters. It's not just that he was like, "Hello, are you having a nice day?" "Yes, I am." "Oh, lovely weather, isn't it?" Like he was like, "Hey, do you have a boyfriend? What's up?"
Hey, Tim. At no point did I say man politely speaking to woman should be sexual. I didn't say that. The fact is, she has taken instances where men merely talked to her. They didn't physically harm her. They didn't threaten her. They were massive cockheads. They were fucking massive douchebags. But the fact is, all that happened was a verbal exchange. Is that a fair comment, Tim?
It depends how you define.
Is that a fair comment? Is that a no?
Not necessarily. It depends.
This isn't. No. Fuck it.
How do you define sexual harassment?
Your definition. Well, this has nothing to do with the definition of sexual harassment.
Yes, it is. That's what she was talking about.
For fuck's sake. I'm asking you: is that true or not? Did anything more than a verbal exchange happen? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, they were talking. What's your point?
So they were merely talking.
So you're saying sexual harassment cannot just be talking; it has to be other stuff.
I think sexual harassment can be talking if it's of a threatening nature. Like but
that's just talking. That can't be sexual harassment.
Well, yeah, but hang on. Let me think about this for a second. I think that what happened in her particular examples was in no way sexual harassment. It just wasn't. You know, this bloke at the mall who approached her and said, "Hey, good looking, you know, can I be your side guy?" He was a fucking cockhead. He was a cockhead. But that's not sexual harassment. At no point did she say, "Go away from me. You are threatening me, or you are intimidating." You know, and he did. It's not like he refused some request to go. In the end, he politely said, "Well, it was nice to meet you. Have a nice day," and walked away.
Well, she was just trying to get away from him, right? She was like, I have a boyfriend, or she was like, "I'm married. Please leave me alone."
No. She didn't say, "Please leave me alone." She didn't say. If she had said that and he kept going, I could agree with you here. I honestly could. If she had said, "Leave me alone," she never said, "Leave me alone."
So you're saying,
hang on. He ended up taking a hint and saying, "Okay, lovely to meet you. Have a nice day," and walking off. That happened of his accord.
So, but you're sort of saying, so sexual harassment is based on the reaction of the person who's being quote unquote harassed. If that person is not forceful enough and like go away, then it's not.
All I'm saying is, you know, if none of us are mind readers, none of us are fucking mind readers. Like this guy cannot be. He may be very bad at reading social cues. He may be fucking retarded in terms of reading social cues. He might actually be mentally retarded. We don't know.
Yeah.
You know? But she hasn't said categorically, "Go away, leave me alone." Now, if she had have said that and he didn't go away and leave her alone, I could probably agree with you and say that was sexual harassment.
Yeah.
But she didn't say that. He ended up taking the hint. You know, as long as it took to give him the hint and for him to accept it, he ended up taking the hint and fucking off.
Yeah. But don't you see how, like, you saying men talking to women should be sexual harassment?
That's me being sarcastic.
That's just your opinion, because that's not what she was.
That's not my opinion. That's
trying to
not
say.
My opinion. That is, I'm sarcastically saying that is her opinion.
But it's not.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Even if she disagrees with her, she believes that that's sexual harassment.
Okay, she believed that's sexual harassment. So is this guy a sexual harasser?
potentially.
Has he committed a crime? Has he committed a crime for talking to some chick, as much of a douchebag as he was, for talking to some chick in a mall and eventually getting it and saying, have a lovely day and fucking off? Is he criminally fucking responsible for sexual harassment? You cannot say he is.
I don't know about criminally because you were talking about how the law is...
But there is only criminally
insufficient. No, there isn't.
There's only criminally sexual harassment or not. You cannot say someone is a sexual harasser, but they're not a criminal sexual harasser. You're either guilty of it or you're fucking not. And the minute we start applying these labels like sexual harasser to people with absolutely no foundation is the minute this society's fucked. You're either guilty of it or not.
I don't get it. You're saying it has to be a law thing, but that's not true, because if you sexually harassed but you didn't get in trouble or you weren't convicted of a crime, you still sexually harass someone. So I don't really get what you're saying. What do you mean?
Well, if you're guilty of sexually harassing someone, call the police and have him charged. Otherwise,
right, like if you murder
stop
someone,
leveling the fucking accusation. It's ridiculous. Like I could say, it is my opinion that you said some things in this conversation that I consider to be rape. Tim raped me. If I make a video saying Tim raped me, would you take issue with that? Because you clearly did not rape me. You might have said things that I disagree with, but you didn't fucking rape me. What you're saying is that it's fine for me to now go and say, because Tim said something I disagree with, he raped me.
Well, yeah, you could file a law case against me.
No, but that's a civil thing. That's a civil thing. The measure of whether you raped me or not is a criminal issue. It is not a civil issue.
True, but if I raped you if I actually did rape you, then I would have raped you. That would be an objective fact.
Exactly.
You know? But just because the law is insufficient,
but if it is an objective fact that Kaylee got sexually harassed, then call the police and take fucking action.
But she
wasn't sexually harassed.
You said yourself in the video that the laws don't particularly cover this, and then you said because the laws don't cover it, she couldn't have been sexually harassed, which means no one in the state of Illinois can be sexually harassed.
No, that's not true.
Because the laws are shit. Like, it doesn't make any sense, man.
That is not true. There is no law in Chicago saying that someone yelling out to a woman saying, "Hey, you're nice. You've got a nice ass. I'd like to fucking jizz on your face." Is sexual harassment. And if that is the law of the land, then that is the law of the land. That is the definition we must use.
So you're saying that
because that is the consensus of the people that is how it goes. And you're in no position to fucking say otherwise, mate.
But are you saying that in Illinois you can't be sexually harassed?
No, I am not. I am saying you can be sexually harassed in Illinois if something happens to you that the law deems to be sexual harassment in Illinois.
But you said
that did not happen.
Yeah, because you yourself said that there's no laws about sexual harassment that can really be applied.
I said no. I said street harassment.
I wrote something down here. Dealing with sexual harassment.
Well, fucking read it. Go through your notes.
No, I didn't write the shit about that. These are like really fucking threadbare notes, man. They're just like 5 lines.
See, I did not say sexual. I said street harassment. You've taken something I've said. You remember something else. You know this could have been quite easily cleared up.
That's because I'm a liar. Nah. Basically, you are still saying that because there's no proper laws about sexual harassment in Illinois, that you can't.
No. You've misconstrued the whole thing. There are sexual harassment laws in Illinois. There is no street harassment in Illinois.
So you can't be harassed on a street in Illinois.
No, you can't. You quite objectively can't.
It's ridiculous.
And if that is an issue for you, then go and become a fucking resident of the state of Illinois. Get into office and change it. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. You haven't been sexually harassed.
God, but again, she had a personal experience in which she felt threatened, which, as dudes, I don't know if we can relate to it.
Well, then she had a personal experience where she felt threatened. She wasn't sexually harassed.
Right, so everything is just...
She merely had a personal experience where she felt threatened. Call a spade a fucking spade,
That's so weird, man, because it's like, you're saying if she lived in a different state, you'd be like, yeah, she was sexually harassed, and then I guess you'd make a video saying...
Of course.
Taylor got sexually harassed.
I'm a person who obeys the fucking law. I'm a person who I'm a civil person who obeys the law of the land. Of course. I would say, does the law cover this? Does the law deem you guilty of a crime? And that would be my measure as to whether you are guilty of a crime. What kind of fucking idiot wouldn't do it like that?
But why would you make a video mocking that experience if that's actually what she experienced?
I didn't. No. I did not mock that experience. I made a video simply stating you were not sexually harassed because she quite objectively was not sexually harassed. Why?
Why is that important? Why do you need to make a video?
Why is that important? Are you fucking serious? Because if we allow people to without any objection to go around saying I was sexually harassed, then what we are effectively doing is if sexual harassment takes place, right, there has to be a sexual harasser, doesn't there? Mm-hmm. We're now allowing people to brand and to label people sexual harassers when there is no leg to stand on. No court or no law has deemed this person a sexual harasser, yet it is okay to label them a sexual harasser. Fuck that.
I think the thing I find
that is not fucking fair. That is disgusting. If you think we should allow people to do that and to be labeled like that with no fucking foundation, then that's fucked. That is regressive.
The thing I find weird about that is, based on what we've been talking about so far, it would depend what state you live in then. If you live in Illinois...
It would. And in a perfect world, Tim, in a perfect world,
I wish
all humans everywhere would be subject to the same laws and we'd all live happily and everything would be fair. But that's not the way the world is. I didn't make it like that.
Yeah, but that's what I disagree with you about, that it's
only then become the president of the fucking world and change it, man.
We're only talking about us as small individuals in terms of what we can do. And you've got, we've got YouTube channels. You're the shit, and everyone loves you. So you got like 200,000. I've got my lovely 1,000K cult. But fuck,
well, that's just because I'm right more times than you.
Maybe.
That's simple.
You're 190 something times more right than me. But we can at least influence the people
roughly. Give or take, Tim. Give or take.
But I'm just saying, I would say I value the experiences of women who express that they feel unsafe or harassed in some way. I'll look into whether it's true. I'm not just going to believe everything people say.
Look,
but I'm going to value their experiences. That kind of sucks. You feel unsafe. That's shit.
I respect your right to value that.
I want to get laid.
But it is my position. I place somebody's right to not be branded a sexual harasser when they haven't done anything to formally make them guilty of sexual harassment. I think that is way more important than some fucking idiot's feelings. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. This guy is going to be labelled... Hang on, shut up. This guy's going to be labelled a sexual harasser, right? Because some fucking idiot on the internet said, "Oh, I got sexually harassed." No, you weren't, love. You fucking weren't. And to think that you can label someone... You can't call someone a rapist if they're not a rapist. That's fucking ridiculous.
You seem to know exactly what happened, and you seem to think her word is bullshit, and or you think just what she said was perfectly fine.
She described what happened. I'm taking what she described on face value. I'm taking that as
following her through the parking lot, asking her if she had a boyfriend, and
no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. She made it. She made it sound like it. She made it sound like he was following her through the parking lot at the start of the video. But you'll notice towards the end of the video, she actually says, "Oh, and finally we were approaching the food court, and he finally went on." She fucking totally misrepresented that. This didn't take place in the car park. This took place walking through a mall. She said walking to my car to make it sound more conspicuous. Did you not see that part?
Whether she's walking through the mall or to a car, does that make a huge difference about how this guy...
I don't think it does, no. I would, if this happened in a parking lot, my opinion would still be he didn't sexually harass her. I could understand how she maybe felt a bit more scared because it was in a parking lot. I could understand that, yeah.
Yeah.
But objectively, at the end of the day, a douchebag spoke to a girl and a girl didn't like it. And in the end, the douchebag got the hint, said have a lovely day, and walked off.
But I think, despite what you're saying now, you just said talking to, and that takes away what he actually said. Like, he actually said things. He wasn't just like, "Oh, how are you feeling? Yeah, are you in a good mood today?"
I did say, didn't I, Tim? I said a douchebag spoke to a woman. Now, I said a douchebag spoke to a woman because he said things like, "Can I be your side guy?" What a fuckhead. Yeah. What an absolute fuckhead, right? We agree on that. But being a fuckhead doesn't make you a sexual harasser. It just doesn't. You can be fuckhead. You can be a fuckhead independently of being a sexual harasser.
Well, I don't know. I feel like you're
a fuckhead, and you're not a sexual harasser.
You don't know me. Don't judge me. You're gonna get to me first. No.
Hey, it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion, bro.
But no, I think, I don't know what it is. It's just like a different values, or like just different way of seeing the situation. But I mean, I don't.
It's listen and believe. It's listen and believe all over again. That's all it is. It's listen and believe.
I think
what you are saying here, Tim, is that because this woman feels this way, this man does not have the right to any kind of due process, and I think that's terrible. I think that's terrible.
You're just talking
You are.
shit.
That's what you're saying.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
Stop strawmanning me, you son of a bitch. Look,
fuck you. There's no straw man here. There is no straw man here. You are saying that this girl has
what I think. This is fucking bullshit,
man. For a second. You're saying this chick has every right to consider herself sexually harassed, and so by saying that, you are saying that she has every right to deem this guy as a sexual harassment.
Of course,
taking away his right to due process, and that is undemocratic.
That makes no sense.
Yes, it fucking does.
No, it doesn't. You're saying like. You're saying she doesn't have the right to think of him as a sexual harasser? Of course she does. But he has.
She has the right to think of him as. She has the right to think anything she wants. But I will not sit there and let it go. Let her brand this guy as sexual harasser publicly. I will not let that pass. No.
But why do you think we have a system of laws? It's because you investigate the situation and see whether he is a sexual harasser.
My friend. Exactly. Yes. Then why hasn't she taken action? Why hasn't she taken action then? Why hasn't she utilized that law and formally had him branded as? She hasn't done that.
Sometimes people are. She's
just calling him a sexual harasser, and that is labeling him a sexual harasser without any due process.
Who the fuck is this person? And that's that's an opinion.
She knew who he was.
He could fucking sue for like slander or something if he wanted to.
I think. Look, he could do that, but I mean, I think that if that's the fucking the standard, then we're just going to be fucking locked in civil court battles all our life. I've got no interest in that. Just do the deeds, do the decent thing. The guy hasn't been convicted of sexual harassment. You didn't call the police and say I've been sexually harassed and have him arrested. So don't call him a sexual harasser. That's unfair. He didn't sexually harass you. He spoke to you, and he was a fuckhead about it. But that's just a fuckhead speaking to you. That's not getting sexually harassed.
Yeah. Well, I think the way that I see it is just that is her personal experience. You can dismiss it. You can say that's bullshit, and you weren't sexually harassed or whatever. But she's entitled to think that happened to her, whether or not it did. I don't have the objective truth. I don't know if
absolutely. Just as I'm entitled to make a YouTube video saying that's crazy love.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can say that, but people can also say "fuck you."
No. You can't sit there and say this woman has the right to express the opinion that she's sexually harassed, but you, Bearing, do not have the right to express the opinion that she wasn't. That's ridiculous.
You keep saying that I'm saying that. It's weird.
You are.
I have never said that you can't express yourself. I have said people shouldn't support you.
What's the problem? Well, look, it comes down to this. We all have the right to express our opinions. Simple as that. Of course.
Yeah.
All right. So there's no issue here. We've all expressed our opinions. Game over. Let's this has been lovely. Let's go home. What a day.
Yeah.
There's no issue here, is there? If we've all got the right to express opinions, then what the fuck's the problem?
Well, my opinion was just that people shouldn't support you, basically.
And you have every right to that opinion, but fuck off. That's not going to happen because I'm better than you.
I'm sorry if I've offended you.
You haven't offended me. You can't offend a cartoon bear, mate. You can't. I don't have the offense thing in my brain. I get heated. When people say ridiculous things, but I don't get offended. I'm not going to be butthurt about
Look,
this. I'm actually thoroughly enjoying this conversation. I really am, because the last thing that I want to involve myself in is echo chambers. I can't stand echo chambers. I fucking cannot stand them. It's ridiculous. You sit there and go, oh, don't you think this about this? Yes, I do. Don't you think this about it? Yes, I do. What? There's no fun in that. I want to disagree with you. I want you to call me a stupid cunt. I want to call you a stupid cunt back. And I want to learn something from you. As I said at the start of this conversation, if you have the ability to turn me into a feminist, I will quite happily become a feminist.
I don't want to,
but I don't think you do.
Feminist. What I want to do, and I mean, this is just the whole point. I just want you to,
fuck off and die. I understand.
Not fuck
That's
off.
Just your opinion.
No, but just like understand that there's certain negative consequences for the people that you're responding to, and just take that into consideration and just think about that.
I do understand that. I do take that into consideration.
Well, that's why I said in my video, it's an appeal to emotion that I am making. Like people like, you can't make an appeal to emotion, but I think, when I think of bullying, when I think of, just people feeling like they can't express themselves because they feel like they're overrun by negativity and they just have to shut down their own speech. Look, then I have a problem with that too,
Look, if you went through all of my videos and you watch all of my videos, you would see that on several occasions I've said I am dead against silence, out to silence anyone. That is ridiculous. That is horrible, and that is wrong to think that. Yep. Now I am subject to that same right. I should not be silent. I have an opinion. I should be able to express that, but. Just because I've expressed an opinion that goes against someone else's, look, I want everyone to be like you and me. I honestly do. I want people to dig their heels in and say, no, fuck you, Bearing. I don't care if you've got 200,000 subscribers and I've got 4. You're fucking wrong, cunt. I want people to have that argument with me. It's fantastic. It's how progress is made.
Yeah. But
is that a fair statement?
But would you reconsider replying?
Is that a fair statement, Tim?
What statement? What when you said? Sorry, dude. I'm not the best at listening.
Hang on. I know you're sitting there thinking, what can I say next? Right? When I said, I think it is fantastic for people to disagree with each other. I think it is. I think the fact that you have disagreed with me and I've disagreed with you, and we are now hashing out these issues, I think that is a great thing.
Yeah.
Do you think that is a fair statement?
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Okay. Fantastic.
But I also know that, like,
fist bump, brother.
Virtual fist bump. New Zealand and Australia finally coming together.
Oh, fuck you! When you mention that, I just hate you a bit more.
Well, this is completely unrelated to anything, but I did want to ask you what you think of New Zealand.
Oh, you're a bunch of faggots.
What do we do?
New Zealand's all right. You murder the Australian accent, but New Zealand's all right.
Well, I feel like I can sort of do it, but Australian accent is kind of difficult. But no, look.
Just don't say fush and chops and fucking hickled and fucking duck. Say words like they're meant to be said.
I scored a 6. I got 6 points. Whatever. Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. Do you know Dr. Andy McCann?
No, who's that?
He's an incredibly hilarious YouTuber from the UK. He's one of the honey badgers. He came up with a character that I should do once. It was based on it was meant to be a Kiwi a Kiwi fucking like pirate ship captain. Fuck, what did he say again? It was something about like if you don't scrub these dicks by Dunner, I'll find it and send it to you. It was fucking hilarious.
We've got this terrible ad about dicks, and the guy's like, I gotta clean me dick. And that was actually on mainstream TV. And I was like, wow, like, way to insult us with your advertising, bastards. Yeah.
That's great. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Fuck your accent.
Anyways, fuck. I mean, I had some other point, but I've just completely forgotten what it was. I mean, there was the menstruating guy.
Did you not write them down, Tim?
I wrote down some shit. I wrote down bullying definition, what Baron can do about it, the menstruating guy, anti-feminists are morons. That video is gone. Second Banana Society.
Anti-feminists are morons.
Some guy made a video called Anti-Feminists are Morons, and the video is deleted. Stalking thing.
Who made that video, and how is it relevant to me?
Oh, because you made a video about his video.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, and then he like shut down his channel, or I don't know, something. Yeah.
Well, I just wish that he was a bit more like you and a bit more like me, and dug his heels in and said, "No, fuck you, Baring, fuck you," and had a healthy debate with me. That I think would be commendable. I think what he did, whoever this guy was a bit piss weak. If you're going to say something, fucking stand by it. Fuck.
I just want you to use your powers for good, not evil.
I do, Tim. I most categorically do. It's just your slightly regressive fucking take on good is wrong and mine's right.
Well, so fuck you for calling me regressive, you piece of shit.
For calling you
You're a fucking cunt, Baring, as you've.
I own that. I accept that. I accept that. That's fine.
Yeah. God damn it! I can't remember the other shit I was going to talk about. All right. Yeah.
Well, just.
Oh no, I do. I remember. You made a video about that anti-bullying thing with like school kids and shit. There's like that reword. That's what it's called.
Yeah, we brought that up before. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Now I wasn't saying that is I didn't say that should be banned and it is wrong. I said that is stupid because it is stupid. You know, if follow me on Twitter, man. Have a look at some of the people that I have on Twitter. It's quite hilarious. I had a heap of people last night. Woolly Bumblebee was one of them that that actually downloaded this reword thing, and they were having a fucking great old time, just putting in statement after statement, just seeing what it would say is bad or not. In fact, I intend on having a play with it myself, and what my aim will be is I want to write a statement into this thing very politely and very effectively saying, "Hello, Tim. It is my intention to make your life a misery and harass you. If you would so kindly accept my bullying, intimidation, and harassment, that would be fantastic. If you could then go and cease from living, I would appreciate it very much." I bet that doesn't get flagged, and that's why this fucking thing is stupid.
That was very polite in your defense.
And I very effectively delivered my message, didn't I? But and this thing won't pick it up. It's stupid. It is dumb.
My only the issue that I had with that video was watching that video. It seemed to be aimed at schools, and that was the thing that stood out to me, was that it's something that they want to implement in schools. If they implemented it society-wide, I would be like, this is complete bullshit.
Why school? School is something that trains you to be a member of society. So why should you have this snowflake padding in school? That's any different to society? You're being trained to be a part of society in school.
Well, because I mean, I'd be against bullying in school as well. And we had a discussion about what bullying means. I think bullying is like an imbalance of power, and it's something that's ongoing. And I think it's wrong in schools to have bullying. It's hard to think of circumstances.
Look,
I think it's okay.
I think there's probably a more nuanced discussion to be had around this particular issue. Yes, I think bullying is wrong, right? But I can also say that, like, I went to I finished up my high school in a boarding school in Hamilton in Victoria, right? I went there for about 3 years, and when I went there, like I'm a Melbourne kid, and I was an absolute cunt of a kid, right? My parents took me out of my school. I got expelled or something, and Dad shipped me off to this fucking boarding school in Hamilton. That's 4 or 5 hours away, and you've got to be there for 6 weeks, then you can come home for 1 weekend. I got dropped off at this school and didn't know a single fucking person, not one person. It was terrifying. Now, I I became the target of some blokes a few years older than me, and I was bullied pretty badly for a while there. I really was. And I remember speaking to my dad one night on the the payphone at this school, absolutely in tears, saying, "Dad, my life's a misery. I can't handle this. I'm being bullied." Blah, blah, blah. And my old man said, "Mate, just trust me on this." But are they being physically violent? I said, "Yeah, they're beating me up." And he said, "All right, pick the ringleader, and next time it happens, go and punch him right in the nose."
Mm.
And I said, "But I'll get the shit kicked out." And he said, "Yeah, you will. But do it. Trust me. See what happens." And so I did exactly that. And I got the fucking shit kicked out. I got the absolute crap beaten out of me. But then a couple of weeks later, like I've always played guitar and drums and shit, and so I think I'd been seen in the music room after school hours, bashing away on the drums. A couple of weeks later, this main bully comes up to me and he goes, "Band's having a jam. Want to play the drums?" He developed this respect for me because I stood up for him, and we honestly became great mates. I still talk to this guy. He's a fantastic bloke. He really is. He was an absolute cunt of a bully, but he developed a respect for me because he saw that I could hold my own and stand up to him, and that I was a forthright person. And so in that sense, in that little sense, there is I'm glad that happened to me, Tim.
Yeah.
I'm glad because it helped shape who I am, and I think that's a good thing. It's not me saying bullying is right in any sense. I think, at a direct level, bullying is wrong. It's horrible.
You've got a different experience from me from high school, because when I was in high school, it was fine, like in primary school, whatever, that was all fine. But then in third form, like, did you have form over there? Grades or whatever. Okay, yeah. In third form, I got bullied by just like random Pacific Islanders, and then
that's racist. It can't be so racist.
They're from there. I can't help but point that out because of just my.
No, that's racist.
I'm a white male. I can't help it. But I then turned around and bullied some other people, and then I totally regretted bullying other people. So I had both experiences of like being bullied and bullying other people.
Well, I think that's just I think the way that you handled that was unfortunate, and maybe I don't know your circumstance. Maybe that is a result of not having the right guidance as to how you should have dealt with that. But I think if you turned around and you bullied people because you had a rage inside you because you were bullied yourself, right?
Yeah, like a vicious cycle. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that if you had have taken that rage and directed it back at your bulliers, I think you would have had a really positive experience.
I don't know about that. That's just like
fire
with fire.
Don't get me wrong. You would have had the fucking shit kicked out of you. But I think that you quite possibly could have learned something really valuable out of it, just like I did. I see this sort of thing happen all the time.
But I do think about fight fire with fire, which is not really something you can do. It just makes more fire. And I think
that's not true. And I've just demonstrated that.
You can't put out fire with fire.
No, you can't. You cannot put fire out with fire. But you can make fire respect other fire by fighting fire with fire.
We've really humanized fire.
Yeah, definitely.
I just think that I don't specifically have a problem with trying to reduce bullying in schools. I think if you tried to put reword into other places in society, I would start having a problem, because then if you use Twitter or Facebook and that fucking reword thing happens, then I'd be like, well, this is too far. But if it's in schools,
but if you're saying it's okay for in school, then the second that these people who have had reword all throughout their schooling suddenly finish their schooling, they're out in the big wide bad world and they don't have reword, you can't see the possible implications of that.
There could be. There's always implications of things. Yeah.
It's just like the like with transgendered people, this whole new pronouns, this zer and z and zay and whatever the fuck there is. That's all of this policing, pronouns in university, I think is ridiculous, because the second that these people who have had this cotton wool approach in university and they've been called their pronouns and everyone's been really respectful, the second they get out into the real fucking world and they have a job interview with fucking Frank, the successful high-flying solicitor who owns the law firm that they really want to work at, and he says, "Hello, son, how you going?" They're going to be fucking offended. And that's not practical. That doesn't help anyone. That is the opposite of progress.
But I think that's the difficulty with being a progressive and progressive values is it's all about activism and moving the world towards a place you want it to be. Because where it currently is fucking shit,
Yeah, but I appreciate that. But at the same time, you cannot suddenly make the world a place that it is not. I think the right balance is trying to progress the world while having an appreciation and a respect for the world the way it is. It is not perfect the way it is. It is far from perfect, but it is what it is.
There's also no reason to be unnecessarily cruel and mean to people around you. Like if someone says, "I want you to call me Z" or whatever, I feel like if I was in a personal situation with that person, I would just be like, "All right, fine. I don't fucking care. I'll just call you Z."
And so would I. Would I. I'm not saying that I have any direct objection to doing that. It is more the getting really offended when somebody doesn't, when somebody slips up. That's ridiculous. Because Frank, the high flying solicitor who owns the law firm I was just talking about, he doesn't know to call you Z. So if you get butthurt and offended when he fucking slaps you on the back and says, "Welcome aboard, son," that doesn't help anyone. That's ridiculous.
But he should also be open to learning, because I feel like if you are like,
but this is high-flying Frank the solicitor we're talking about. He's an arrogant cunt. He's not going to do that. And so it is up to the juniors coming in to learn from Frank to be a little bit more accepting of how Frank is, because if they can do that, they will learn Frank's valuable skills, and they can take those super lawyer powers into the future and build on them.
But why should the trans?
But if they get butthurt, then that training will not happen.
But why should the trans person in the office be treated like shit compared to everyone else? That seems like
define like shit. What, being slapped on the back saying, "Hello, son," when you look like a fucking boy is being treated like shit? No, it's not. Well, that's just how the world is.
If you said that this person doesn't learn, that they don't change, and treat this person better over time, so that means that becomes discrimination because they're treating the trans person shit,
I'm saying if old Frank the solicitor is set in his ways, right, then I think that it is valuable to have a to give old Frank the successful solicitor a hall pass, because he has some vital knowledge to give you. And if you can only get past this fucking Z issue, you're going to become a fantastic lawyer, and that's a good thing.
But are you saying he treats everyone else like crap too?
No, I'm just saying he doesn't give a fuck about you and your trans ways. He doesn't give a fuck about your feelings. I think that you've
why is he willing to call non-trans people what they want to be called, but when it comes to trans people, he's like, "Fuck you, I'm an edgelord,"
No, he's not like "fuck you." He's just like, I'm not thinking about your feelings, so I don't give a fuck about your feelings. He's not maliciously calling someone son, because it upsets them. That's not what's happening here. He's old school. He's set in his ways, and he looks at him. He goes, "Oh, that is a boy. Hello, son." If you can only get past that and not get butthurt because you weren't called Z, and you'll become a great fucking lawyer potentially.
Well,
and it's
if I was
thing.
a trans person,
it's more beneficial to a person to become a great lawyer than it is to be called fucking Z a couple of times.
I think if I was trans, that would fill me with bitterness over time.
Well, then fucking grow up. Go and fucking become a fucking whatever trans people do. But if you
Have
can't accept
being trans, like,
no, I haven't. Well, a couple of times when I was younger, but it didn't work out.
Okay.
But you've got to be able to have somewhat of an acceptance for the world. And there are people out there who will offend you and who will fucking who you'll disagree with. But
Yep.
I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Maybe
I think an
Yeah, go on.
identity thing. I feel like, and I mean, this maybe it sounds stupid. I don't think it is, but you don't know what it's like to be a trans person. Neither do I. So how can we always prejudge their experiences and be like, if it was me, I would edgelord
He's
it.
not.
I'd be
He's
like,
not.
fuck you.
Old Frankie's not prejudging anyone's experience.
Hmm.
Old Frank is set in his ways. And if you accept old Frank to be old Frank, he's not maliciously attacking you because he called you son. He's just set in his ways. If you can get past that, you might become a great lawyer.
Like, motherfucker, it's time to retire.
That's a price worth paying.
But I would just think, I hope that there's less douchebags like old Frank in fucking society, so we can just move forward and forget about identity bullshit, you know?
Listen. Yeah. There fucking will be because if you can just get past the fact that you're fucking butthurt and you can listen to Frank's law advice and you can let old Frank who doesn't respect your pronouns train you, then you will become a fantastic lawyer and you will own the firm one day and you can respect the fuck out of the next trans person that comes in. Does that make sense?
Do you not feel that at the same
it's progression through regression, cunt? Do you not understand that?
But I got a question for you. Do you not feel that at the same time this person would see non-trans people being treated better and over time, and that would fucking suck? And you'd feel like society...
Hang on a sec. Say again.
Would you not also feel that if you were the trans person being treated like shit in this situation, you're not
being treated like shit. You're not being treated like shit. Frank,
you would perceive it that way. You might say that they're wrong to perceive it that way, but that's how you would feel. I know that like feelings are for.
Well, then you need to get over your feelings and operate within reality. If you operate within reality, you'll become a great lawyer. You'll own the firm, and you can be as respectful as you want to the next trans person.
But isn't it a matter of empathy? Do you not have empathy for these people?
I have empathy for them, but you know who gives a fuck whether you're being referred to as the correct pronoun. I don't fucking care. I don't care. I think it's more important that you get over yourself and you fucking you operate within reality and you take this vital knowledge that Frank has to give you.
I'm sorry, it's just about funny because you said I have empathy, but who gives a fuck? I'm like, that's the opposite of empathy. Like,
look, I have empathy in the sense of if you were to ask me, do you think the world would be a better place if old Frank could just respect your? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So in that sense, yes, I have empathy. But the reality is, old Frank is complacent. And I don't think that you should get butthurt because of that, because it's just old Frank being complacent.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I the only thing I really think about that is it's hard to know what it's like to be another person. That's why I try not to mind read. Like when people are saying things that I think are racist, for example, I try not to say that person's a racist because I don't fully know. All I know is it seems like they're being racist, you know.
I think the whole racism thing at this stage has just blown up, you know, beyond all reasonable proportions. It's some of the things that are called racist these days are just so not racist.
Like what?
Well,
sorry, you were just making a general comment, so I was.
I was. Okay, so take for example, you know, Black Lives Matter protesting and wrecking property and shit in Milwaukee and in Ferguson. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. It's not gonna help anyone, and you really don't have any real justification to be throwing this temper tantrum. You know, the fact is that the fact is that black people commit 57% of the murders in the US. They commit 42% of the robberies, and I think it's 62% of assaults or something. This is a group of people who are committing a out of proportion, percentage of these crimes. Of course, you are going to be people who attract more police attention, and in those interactions, some people will get shot and killed. That is really unfortunate. That's a horrible thing. But I think the fact that you're committing, let's round it off and call it half of these vicious, horrible crimes, yet you are only 26% of police fatality. I think you're doing quite well.
I think the problem there is if you're an innocent person who is black and then you're being subjected to all of this extra scrutiny because of what other people have done, then it just feels like guilt by association, really.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. I think, yeah, if I was that black person and I had done nothing wrong and I was, you know, I was profiled because of something that other people, that's horrible. Yeah, I can understand how that would feel terribly unjust. I really can. But at the same
because that's how you feel about your channel.
Huh?
Because that's how you feel about your channel, because your subscribers are harassing people and you feel like you have no connection to that.
Well, yeah, that's a fair statement. You know?
No, wait, this is sorry. That's a mixed metaphor. I've completely fucked it up.
Yeah, I think you've got a very keen ability to communicate sarcasm. So I don't know what you fucking talk about. Fuck off, cunt.
Thank you. I just took that as a compliment, really.
And so you should. So you should. What was I saying? Well, fuck, I've lost myself again.
That you would feel bad if you were a black person.
So I would feel bad if I was that black person, and I think it is justified to feel bad. But at the same time, you know, the police have a job to do. Now, it is reasonable that they profile. Now, if a disproportionate amount of black people commit these crimes, then I think it's fair that the police, you know, might look at a black person and think, okay, is this a black person that's committing those crimes? That's reasonable. That's reasonable in executing their duties. Is it not?
Is what reasonable?
Isn't it reasonable? Like if a policeman looks at a black person with a bit more suspicion than say a white person.
Right. Oh, you mean scrutiny? Yeah, but I think the difficulty is lethal force. I think the question is, under what circumstances is lethal force justified? And I think maybe the problem is that they use lethal force too much in the first place, and then they apply it more.
Absolutely,
to black people,
I could not agree with you more. No, I think you're wrong when you say they apply it to black people more, because if black people commit over 50% of these vicious crimes,
but you just said that they'd have increased scrutiny, and then you were saying scrutiny, and then I changed that, I guess, to like lethal force, because I feel like that's what Black Lives Matter is talking about, is shootings by cops.
I'm a little bit lost, but the fact is that they commit over half of these horrible, vicious crimes, yet that they're only 26% of the police shootings. You know, that's not being unfairly targeted.
Well, what's the rest of the percentage of police shootings?
I don't know. I did a Black Lives Matter video a few weeks ago, so I looked at that statistic. I didn't pay particular attention.
I'd have to go back and look at that to get the statistics or whatever. But I think
that's probably a conversation to have another day, and I genuinely am interested in having that conversation with you.
I only have one thing to say on that then, if we're just going to wrap it up, whatever, but it would be that they have a grievance in the sense that they believe, rightly or wrongly, that they are being overly targeted and shot. Now you're saying that they are not,
but they are not. But they are objectively not being over targeted, because if they're committing a higher than most proportion of these crimes, yet they are not receiving that same proportion of police fatalities, then they're doing well.
Yeah. Well, but that's why I brought up lethal force. If you think
lethal force is a bad thing, no one should get shot by a cop.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. Like, is being executed
no, it is never justified. You know? It is never justified, and that's that's why the real issue should be American cops kill too many people. All lives matter, Tim. All lives matter. That statement does make more sense than Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, but it's a direct response to people saying Black Lives Matter. That's why I have a problem with it. If it was completely disconnected from Black Lives Matter and you just said all lives matter, like who disagrees with that? Of course, all lives matter.
I think it's perfectly reasonable to use the statement "all lives matter" as a big fuck you to Black Lives Matter. I think it's reasonable. I really do.
Why? Because Black lives also matter, don't they? So
Yeah, and which is covered in the statement "All lives matter." Black people are part of all people, Tim.
but then it's not about black people if they have a grievance
And
like
why
they're
should
being
it be?
shot.
They're not receiving a disproportionate, percentage of the police
I-
shootings. Why should it just be about black people,
But
Tim?
Mr. Bering, I feel like that is the problem: is having empathy for people that are different, like than yourself.
So why not white lives matter? Would you defend white lives matter with the same vigor?
What would they be about? What would their
White lives
grievance be?
mattering, for fuck's sake.
They do matter, but like, what would they specifically be saying that for? Like, what's the reason?
Because white people get shot by police. Pay no attention to how many crimes they commit and what proportion of these executions they are subject. Pay no attention to that, Tim. White people are getting shot by police. So what's wrong with the statement "White lives matter"?
Absolutely nothing. It's fine.
Well, there you go. You're a racist bigot cunt.
No, because like white people being shot is not in the limelight of society. If it was in the limelight of society,
Exactly, Tim.
but it's not.
Exactly. It's not in the limelight. That doesn't make it not a fact. That's because of fucking idiots like fucking Chunk Yuga
You've already
reporting
said
the news like he does. He's fucking retarded.
you've already
You
said that
know
black
he's
lives.
retarded.
No, I don't. He's just a regular man.
I'll get fucked.
Well, retarded to me implies some kind of mental condition, or
Yeah. Well, have you watched many of his videos?
yeah, I don't mind him. I'm sorry, I may have triggered you just then.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, no, that's probably a conversation for another day. Let's have a debate on Chunk Yuga and how accurate he delivers the news. Yeah,
And the Armenian genocide. Yep, and how you
Chunk Yuga and the dumb jerks. You know what I'm talking about.
Anyways, I just think it's a matter of focus. I think Black Lives Matter is called that because they're concerned about police shootings, and no equivalent movement about white people has popped up. Maybe it will one day.
But you have said to me, if there was a group called White Lives Matter, that would be okay. So why not just combine forces and in the spirit of everyone getting along and everyone helping the good, why don't they just combine forces and become All Lives Matter?
Well, because as I said, it would have to be a societal focus. Otherwise, it's out of nowhere, and the only context you have for that is like the fucking KKK or something. Like, why are these guys talking about white lives? Well, what else would you compare it to?
What the fuck are you doing? You've lost me. We're going to need fresh brains for this debate.
I just think you're too sleepy.
I had a good kip last night.
Okay. And you had your coffee a while ago, so
I did, yeah. I did. Look, let's wrap it up. I will say in conclusion that I think as I've said to you, I value people like you, Tim. I really do, because you have the nutsack to stand up to people bigger than you, and I admire that, because I am also like that. You're so keen to talk about the small defenseless feminists that I've gone up against, in your video, but you didn't cover, when I've done the same with Onision, who's got, with all these channels combined, fucking 6 million subscribers or something. Yet you didn't point out the fact that I've gone after, the Young Turks with 3 million subscribers.
Right.
We are the same in that regard. We're arguing different points, but our characters are the same, and I respect that. I really do. And I'd like to have more of these discussions with you, even if you are wrong.
Sorry, I apologize for being wrong, but that was the thing about bullying. I thought it was a disparity of power, and obviously, if you're attacking Onision or Young Turks, you're punching up, like, because they're really popular. They can totally defend themselves. So that's.
I don't think it's beneficial to think in terms of punching up and down at all. I think we're all just people. I get up out of bed and put my pants on one leg at a time, just like you. Right, we are the same. No, we have equality, so we should be able to discuss matters and issues. It's as simple as that.
I put my pants on a rack and then I just jump into them. So like both at the same time. So I can't relate to that. But
well, you sleep in a bunk bed and they're kind of set up in a fashion that you just jumped in.
It's pretty much Wallace and Gromit. So yeah.
All right, well, you do you, bro.
Cool. All right.
Look,
so
I must ask you, and it is perfectly okay if your answer is yes. am I the horrible cunty cyberbully that you perhaps thought I was?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Sorry, I apologize. No, but you're very nice on a personal level. Like, you're very personable, and you can have.
But I challenge you to find any video where I'm any different to this. I've been no different in this. You know, we've had a spirited conversation. Yeah, I've called you a cunt a few times. You've called me a cunt a few times. Who gives a fuck? That's all I'm doing in my videos that you're getting so butthurt about. Why is it not okay in a video, but it's okay in a live stream?
I think it's just for like the reasons I laid out in my video and that we've discussed already, you know. But I think because I know a few people who, you know, they're feminists and stuff, and they're like, there's no point talking to Bering, like it's just pointless because he's
okay. Well, let me ask you this question: Do you think this conversation has been pointless? I've found this conversation to be really valuable.
I honestly think, like, if you would just consider the stuff that we've talked about today, then it wasn't pointless.
I absolutely. I absolutely will consider that. You've made me stop and think a few times in this conversation, Tim. Now, I do not shoot from the hip. It's not in my nature. I will consider these things, and I possibly will change my opinion on a few things. I certainly won't come out with your opinion. But you might have shaped my opinion on a few things. I will listen back to this, and we'll talk again. And where I have changed certain views and opinions, I will happily tell you that, and happily tell you that was a result of what you said to me. Yep. So I have found real value in this conversation. Have you found the same value from your side?
I think if what you said was true just then yes, definitely, because
it most certainly is true. It is true, Tim.
The reason I want to talk to you is because I was just like, people told me you were closed to thinking about like the way that you do things on your channel, for example.
That's ridiculous. I don't know where people have gone.
Yep.
It's so stupid. Never have I said or implied. I've only ever implied the exact opposite of that, Tim.
Yeah. No, but that's cool. I would just say, make a video dumping on someone who's not a feminist for once.
I did, cunt. I did.
You did one.
And you bitched about that in your fucking... What are you talking about? You fucking whinged about that in your videos. Oh, you made a fucking video against the anti-fan. You're a fucking psychopath. What are you talking about?
A psychopath?
Oh, that was probably a little bit heavy, but that's hypocritical. Like, you've just said, oh, make a video against someone other than a feminist, and, you know, I have. You have seen it. You said I was a cunt for doing it.
I gotta say, I saw that the hangout you did with that guy, and that guy didn't really seem all there, to be honest.
I agree, but I didn't. It's not like I made this video about it and then said, "Come on, cunt, come on, join me for a hangout." That didn't happen. I made this video about him, and for a day he berated me on Twitter, saying, "You're wrong. You're wrong. I will crush you in a live stream. I dare you to set up a live stream." And so I did.
I think that guy's a special case, to be honest.
Yeah, he's fucking retarded. But like, you hear it. I get on the live stream and I say, "Okay, you've been at me for a day. What do you want? State your case." The live stream didn't start, and I've just jumped into him and said, "Oh, if you know, fuck you. You're mentally deficient. You should feel bad." That's not what happened, and you can clearly hear that. This live stream was at his insistence, Tim.
Okay, well then all I'd say would be consider like telling your subs to lay off a bit on this tiny channels you're responding to, and that would be it. That's my only message.
So consider what? Telling my subscribers to
lay off somewhat on the tiny channels. That's it. On the tiny.
I think that is a reasonable request, Tim. Yeah. Telling my subscribers to not go so hard on smaller channels, I think is a reasonable request, and it is a request that I'll put serious consideration into. I certainly won't make a statement saying do not provide any feedback, because I think that's wrong. Yeah. But maybe a statement that was, you know, perhaps don't go so hard on some of these smaller channels. Yep, I think you've made a fair comment, and I'll consider it. Sweet.
I'll tell all my feminazis. And they'll be
tell Christy Winters to fuck off.
She likes you secretly. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. I was talking shit. She hates you.
Yeah, that's obvious. Well, it honestly has been a pleasure. I hope I have changed your opinion somewhat on me, and as I said, I'd very much like to do this again in the future, because I think it's valuable when two so-called opposing forces can discuss it as heated.
Yep.
I just think it's a valuable thing to happen, and that's how true progress is made, Tim.
I do have one quick question though. What do you think you'll do next on your channel? Like, what's the next bearing?
Next video. I found a feminist last night. She's about 7 years old. She's got 2 subscribers. I was thinking about just sort of getting on and telling her to commit suicide.
Nice.
I'm only joking. I'm only joking. Look,
but now that we've had this discussion, you won't do it, will you?
No, exactly. You've saved a soul, Tim. Well done. You should feel good about yourself.
And it matters because she's 7. You know, anyone else, fuck them.
Yeah. I was only joking, but there's no 7-year-old. I don't know. I don't know. I tend to take things as they come. You know, I don't shoot from the hip, as I said before, but I will see what comes up on a daily basis, consider it, and then provide an opinion on it.
Cool. I'll send you some tiny anti-feminist channels that you can shit on.
Do that, please do.
Really, I don't even know any. I was just saying that.
I thought we were all cunts. If you sent me some anti-feminist channels that were absolute cunts, yeah, of course I'd have a crack at them.
But only if they were 200 and below, probably.
What?
Like sub-wise, they'd be like 200, 300.
No, that's the difference between you and me, Tim. I couldn't care. Well, no, it's not a difference between you and me. It is actually similar. I couldn't care whether they have 200 or 200 million.
Yep. 200 million.
If they, I don't know, PewDiePie or some shit. If they express an opinion that I think is worth, we'll respond to it. Just like you have done to me, and just like I am now doing with you, and just we're just how we are making progress right now. As I said, true progress, Tim. Virtual fist bump again, my mate.
Cool. Well, we'll have another hangout where we just talk about rugby, koalas, fucking I don't know, the Cook Straits.
Fuck that.
The Tasman Strait thing between our countries. Talk about that. Talk about the weather. Shit.
Well, it has been a pleasure. You probably need to go and like sit in the bath and like dust and fuck to yourself after this chat.
Because I've been drinking beer.
All right, mate. Look, it's been a pleasure, and fuck you.
Cool. All right. Thanks. Stop the broadcast.